Gentlemen, and welcome back to Size Eyes in the Skies. This is Monday, March 23rd, 2009, and on tonight's broadcast, we're going to talk about the blizzard that's going to be taking place in western South Dakota, bringing inches upon inches of snow out there, and also we're going to be discussing the severe weather that's going on out there right now, maybe not around here, but out to the west of us. So stay tuned. And welcome back, and I am being joined, of course, by my friend Ryan Alliss. And Ryan Alliss, there's a lot to talk about today.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about.
There's too much to talk about, actually. But why don't we start out by saying, how was your spring break?
Spring break for me, a little boring. Just went back home to Cedar Rapids, sat around the house. Enjoyed a little bit of the beautiful weather. Went to the driving range. You know, I'm kind of on this golfing rant, which is nice.
That's good, though. You got to get out and do it now. You know, it's starting to get nicer out. So
how was your spring break?
It was really good. I actually spent it in New York, and it was a little chilly, but compared to here, anyway. I mean, I heard it was in the 60s and whatnot. It was really nice down here. But I also went to Toronto, Canada, and it was decent up there as well. So I mean, it was not quite the 60s you guys saw down here, but it was still nice. Couldn't really complain, but you know.
And now we're going to talk about a little bit about what's going to happen now. And there is some severe thunderstorms out there, which is kind of exciting. We actually were thinking about chasing today, but that didn't really go down as much as we'd like.
And no, that's okay. And right now it's kind of out to the west of us, but yeah, there's a lot. There's watches out right now, and there's warnings out. So we'll be showing that later.
And seeing as it is March, we do have that snowfall out there too, because it's still, there is cold temperatures out there still. It's the 50s. Don't let them catch you off guard. There is cold temperatures, and they are coming back to Ames, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, and it's like we talked about before. March in Iowa is very unpredictable. I mean, even the beginning of April, and so like we're in that period right now. Right, sorry, that it's kind of crazy out there. It's hectic weather-wise. So I don't know. Will we see snow later at the end of the week? I don't know. Hopefully not, but yeah, it's gonna get colder, so that's all right. Anyway, why don't we talk to Andy Mair? Here he is, Andy. Now, why don't you give us a little preview of what's going on tomorrow and for the rest of the week?
All right. Well, let's just bring up the day planner here so we can show what's actually going on tomorrow. Tonight about 9 p.m. It's gonna be about 56 degrees with mostly cloudy, but probably some storms maybe rolling in later tonight as there's some severe weather going off to our west. Probably not going to be severe here, but probably some good thunderstorms, some good rain. Then tomorrow morning as you're getting up and heading off to class, mostly cloudy at 52 degrees. Pretty strong winds out tomorrow at about 20-25 miles an hour. And then at 3 p.m. tomorrow as you're heading on back from the second day of class, maybe a little bit of sun in there. As high temperature will peak out about 54 degrees. So overall, pretty decent weather. Still a little bit of wind out there, about 10 to 15 miles an hour. So not too bad. Maybe a little windy. Hopefully a little better at the end of the week, but for the most part, not too bad around here.
Well, that's good. Well, hopefully we see some storms. I want to see some storms.
Hey, you know, we almost went out today. me and Ryan Alliss debated going out today to go for a little bit of a chase, but decided not to. But maybe chase the opportunity later.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be plenty, so that's good. So. Well, thank you very much for that update. And we're going to send it to a break, so stay tuned after these messages. Whatever camera we're on. We're going to send it to the wall to talk to Ryan Alliss.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk to myself if you guys want to. But anyways, let's talk about that severe weather, if that's our first graphic. I don't ever know what's going to happen. But we're going to talk about the whole setup while we're here. Now, this area of low pressure, as you see, is the main player. We got that cold front. This is the main thing triggering off those severe thunderstorms. Our main hotspot is down in Kansas and Oklahoma, where we did have numerous tornado watches out, and that still is continuing. I'm not really sure on the current watches, but do go ahead and go on the National Weather Service website for an update. We do not have the nice software here to show you live stuff, but that's too bad. But we did want to talk about here is this heavy snow. Now, many of you probably don't know about this heavy snow that's supposed to happen, but there is actually supposed to be upwards to 20 inches of snow in South Dakota, and I even read locally in one part of the Black Hills 30 to 40 inches. I'm not even exaggerating. 30 to 40 inches. That is a lot of snow. So if you have any family in South Dakota, you better go ahead and call them and let them know, because that's a lot of snowfall. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our extended forecast. Little Rock, Arkansas. Now we're having a little trouble with our graphics today, and nothing here is looping. You're supposed to see some thunder strikes here. Most of these clouds are meaning thunderstorms. So these are thunderstorms for most of the week. Temperatures not looking too bad, upper 60s, lows looking wonderful, upper 50s and whatnot. Now let's go ahead and look at Lincoln, Nebraska. I want to show you snow, and once again, it's not looping. There's supposed to be snow for most of these days, especially for tomorrow. You're going to see a lot of snow tomorrow. In Lincoln, I would say probably around 5 inches of snowfall. But as you can see, temperatures are actually rather warm. So this will be mainly a nighttime snow event, which is nice. And the temperatures will rebound, which is good. Now here in Ames, we're going to see about the same thing. We're going to see maybe just a little snowfall, but we're going to get more with that with our Iowa forecast. That's going to be probably around Friday. We're going to see some snowfall. Now let's go ahead and go to our graphics computer and take a look at some radar images of the severe weather. Look at that. That's not our graphics computer. Hello. We're getting this fixed right now, but there is severe weather out there. There is a line of thunderstorms on the Nebraska-Iowa border right now. And fortunately, tornado warnings have come, but they have gone away. There's no more tornado warnings here in Nebraska and Iowa. And it's just mainly a severe thunderstorm line that's moving through. This is going to slowly progress eastward, and I guess we don't have radar, unfortunately. But the good news is tornadoes here in Iowa tonight, they're not going to happen. It's going to be mainly a wind, maybe possibly a hail event, and you can expect this probably after midnight or maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock. And with that, let's go ahead and take it back to the desk with Mr. Tyler Roney.
Thank you very much for that update, Ryan Alliss. And right now, we're going to take a look at tonight's trivia question, which is, on this date in 1913, a vicious tornado ripped through what major U.S. city? Your choices are A, Miami, Florida, B, Minneapolis, Minnesota, C, Omaha, Nebraska, or D, Las Vegas, Nevada. Very interesting choices. And now we're going to send it back to the wall with Matt Hoffman for your national forecast.
All right, thank you, Tyler, very much. We're going to take a look at what's going on around the nation. We will have radar on this segment. We can show you where those storms are, show you where they're at. Hopefully we can get radar figured out. We can take a closer look later. But we're going to start off with the east, where it's actually quite quiet right now. We have sunny skies all in control here from Maine all the way south to North Carolina. Really, the only rain to speak of is right here along Lake Michigan into Indiana and Illinois. That's the only trouble spot. High pressure, totally in control, keeping high and dry. Temperatures in this area, 25 up in Caribou, 30 over in Boston, 48 over in Pittsburgh, warmer as you head south. Now, as we head in the Midwest, this is where the main weather is heading or occurring right now. Today, we have that low pressure, very strong low pressure in control, causing some storms here in Nebraska all the way down into Kansas and even Oklahoma. Blizzard conditions, however, we're seeing in the Dakotas on the back side of this low. That's causing some really heavy snowfall, up to 30 inches in some portions, as well as very high winds. So definitely quite the weather troubles there. Right now we're mostly cloudy, but these rain showers and storms will be heading our way tonight and causing some issues for possibly tomorrow morning when you head out to classes. 49 in Minneapolis right now, warmer as you head to the south before that cold front moves through. 68 in Kansas City, 72 back in St. Louis. Colder, you can see behind this low pressure system dragging on that cold Arctic air right now. You can see temperatures 30s and 25 over in Rapid City. Now, as we head further south, we have the warmer weather here, but we also have some rain. You can see that frontal system extends all the way down into Texas, creating some thunderstorms through Oklahoma into Texas. But otherwise, most of the south pretty quiet. Maybe some rain showers in the Mississippi region, also down into Florida. Now, temperatures in this area, 72 in Nashville, 69 in Atlanta, but it is hot over in Texas, 78 looking at Dallas, and Midland at 87. Now, as we head westward, fairly quiet. We have a little system moving into the northwest corner of Washington and Oregon, creating some showers, but otherwise most of the area very quiet right now, especially California, back on in the four corner states. So now, temperatures, 49 in Boise, 34 in Salt Lake City, and 63 down in Los Angeles. So fairly typical of this time of year for those folks. So here's the radar, which is not accurate, by the way. Not at all. So ignore that, please. Now, we're going to give you a look at what's going to happen over the next couple of days. Hopefully we can show radar of some kind here. But anyway, what we're looking at, these showers and thunderstorms are going to move through later on tonight through parts of Iowa, down into Missouri and Oklahoma. And we're going to see this really start to wind up. And there you can see the snow on the back side here from North Dakota down into Nebraska, dumping a lot of snow in these areas. Out to the west, a few snow showers and rain showers in the mountains around the Cascades, and out east, fairly quiet. This low pressure system will continue to move through and bring that rain into Illinois and Missouri, into parts of the Ohio River Valley as we head into tomorrow and then the next day. So we'll be dealing with the system throughout the United States for the next couple days. You can see though the snow on the back side of it in the Dakotas as well. And it finally pushes through. We start to see the northeast starting to cloud over a little bit, and these rain showers starting to move in into Ohio, parts of Kentucky, and down into Mississippi, while the west fairly quiet except for the northwest portions. So over the next couple 6 to 10 days, below average temperatures for most of the east coast, also down to the south. The west, though, in California will remain pretty warm and above average around California, so definitely a good destination there. Also pretty dry there in California, down all the way south into Texas. However, the northern tier states from Minnesota all the way over to Washington, they'll be seeing the rain for the next week or so. So let's take it back to Tyler.
Thank you very much, Matt. And now we're going to send it to a commercial break, so stay tuned after these messages. Why don't we take a look at tonight's trivia question and answer? If we could please, there we go. On this date in 1913, a vicious tornado ripped through what major U.S. city? Well, there are your choices, and your answer turned out to be C, Omaha, Nebraska. It actually killed 93 people. It was actually a very devastating tornado. But for now, we're going to send it to the ratings juggernaut, the legend, Andy Mair.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler, for that. I haven't been on air for quite a long time, if any frequent viewers. Normally I sit backstage and do most of the work back there. But as we can look at, oh, we're not going to look at current conditions. We're going to fly right by it. We're going to go to our temperatures around the area. We don't need to do that. Our current temperature in the area, 68 in Ankeny, 61 in Fort Dodge, and a little cooler as you head down to the south, 64 in Creston. Pretty consistent temperatures across until we get that cold front that comes through, bringing much more cooler temperatures and a dry line that comes through along with that. As we can see temperatures across the U.S., you can see it much colder off to the west right now, 55 in Sioux City, much warmer down to our south and to our east where we still have that warm air advection coming through, 74 in Ottumwa, also a little cooler up to the north to be expected, 56 in Mason City. All right, so as we look at our low temperatures for today, pretty consistent here for most of the area. 51 out in Sioux City, 54 in Council Bluffs. And as we look off to our east here, 45 in Dubuque, so much colder off to our north than to our east, 44 in Mason City, and 47 in Waterloo. So Ames was kind of on the borderline of that area for the most part. High temperatures for today, pretty consistent once again. 69 Des Moines, so about 70 right around here. Pretty consistent. 70 in Council Bluffs, 66 in Sioux City, and once again off to our east, much colder, 57 in Dubuque and 67 in Waterloo. And those temperatures will drastically change over the next couple of days. We look at our forecast surface map. Right now we got all that wind coming from the south, bringing us those nice warm temperatures from like the Florida area where a lot of people were maybe taking their spring break trip. That's why we got this wind coming through. But as we advance through here a little bit, as you can see, the stormy weather comes on through for tonight. And here's this cold front sitting off to the west that's going to switch our winds around and bring us some southerly winds that's going to cause us to cool off quite a bit over the next couple days. Because of the system coming through, this is why we have our high winds around here right now, is because it's low pressure and we're sending wind that way, if you will, counterclockwise around low. And as we continue on through, this cold front comes through, bringing much colder air and strong winds around for our area starting in like tomorrow or so. And as we continue to go through, much cooler air, much cooler and much more windy, a little more typical for this time of year, the less desirable weather that we normally see around here for this time of year. As we look at our rainfall amounts, this is how much rain we've achieved. Is when I got up this morning with Matt Hoffman to go into work this morning, very big downpour, very, a lot of rain very quickly. 0.97 in Ames and 0.1, oh, this is our forecast rainfalls. Matt Hoffman is yelling to me over there. This would be our forecasted rainfall. We did have a lot of rain this morning, however. Our forecast rainfall, close to an inch around here, is we'll have those storms move in overnight tonight, bringing some good heavy downpours, maybe potential for some severe weather in there as we were trying to show off to the west right now. That's already starting to develop. Hopefully mainly just chance of some wind, some hail. Hopefully no tornadoes. Can never rule it out quite though. But as you can look off to our west, they've already got most of their rain. We'll be slowing down a little bit. And as we move on through, 0.17, quite the bullseye off to our east here as those storms intensify through tomorrow, bringing a lot of rain off to our east and maybe some severe weather threats out there. Let's see. And then, for tonight, thunderstorms, as Ryan Alliss pointed out earlier, our graphics did not generate. But this is supposed to be thunderstorms. As you can see, there is rain over by the Campanile there. So 51 tonight, strong winds, thunderstorms, hopefully nothing too severe. There is that slight chance, though. Turn on your weather radios, first chance of the year maybe. So turn those on and stay tuned. We don't want anything bad to happen out there. As we then head into tomorrow, thunderstorms again in the morning as you're getting up and heading off to class. We'll be clearing out a little bit as the day goes on, though. 54 for high, so not too bad. Maybe a little cold compared to what we had this past weekend. And then as we go through our next 5 days, 54 with the rain coming in, and as we head through the week, still a continuing chance of rain with like temperatures sitting around the 50s. On Tuesday, 54, and then Wednesday, 53 with not any rain there, and then Thursday, 49 with some rain, along with Friday and Saturday, all pretty consistent for the rain, and then lows pretty much around consistently in the 30s all week.
Well, that's definitely more active pattern here in Ames than what we were used to over break. I know it was pretty nice around here. I heard a lot of people say it was in the 70s, so now it kind of just, it seems like the right thing to do. We're in school, so that kind of isn't the best situation. So it might as well rain while we're at it,
Yeah.
Definitely, we're not used to this cold weather now. All of a sudden, we've had this warm up over the past couple of days. We're all used to this 70-degree weather, maybe, getting the shorts out and getting used to being outside, and all of a sudden we're going to be back in the 50s, and it's going to feel a lot colder than what we would normally think for this time of year. Generally, you'd think 54, like, ooh, it's getting warm out, but it feels cold to us right now.
Yeah, and that chance of snow, people aren't going to like
what
that.
about the end of the week? Hopefully that won't be a major snowstorm by any means, but
definitely that.
It's on the
March
distance.
weather.
Yeah, I know. It's
hopefully things
crazy.
can change up a little bit, and hopefully we won't have to deal with any more snow around here. Me and Ryan have been going out to the driving range, and we've been enjoying that, and hopefully we don't have snow on the ground.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that.
Oh, I believe we do have radar
We have radar
now.
up, apparently.
This is so great.
Maybe.
We'll make our own radar. Let's get a marker board. We'll draw.
This is March Madness at its
March
finest.
Madness, yes.
folks.
There it is. All right, this is what I was going to try to show you. And one thing you'll notice is in the beginning of this loop, there's that red box. That was a tornado warning. We actually did have a very good-looking signature for a tornado on there. Fortunately, that has gone away and no more, but unfortunately, we still have a severe thunderstorm watch. That's what those yellow boxes are. And the good thing you do notice is that these thunderstorms are starting to create a line, which is going to take away that tornado threat. However, when the line does form, we do have the wind threat and potential hail threat. And once these lines do form, they do tend to last for a while. So we're probably going to see this happen or reach Ames tonight. So as you can see, as we pull out, there is a very long, extensive line beginning to form. So
we're definitely going to be hearing it tonight.
We are going to be hearing it tonight. Maybe we'll hear some rumbles of thunder. It's always something I like to hear.
Oh, yeah, indeed.
It's been a while, too.
Definitely.
I mean, we haven't seen a good line of storms for a while, even. So, I mean, it's nice to get back in the active pattern.
Speaking of a while, what's been a while, I'd like to just thank Andy for coming. And doesn't that bracelet pop, everyone? Look at that bracelet.
I know.
It just pops.
Back and all ready to go, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, so that means he'll be back. All right, wrap it
No,
up.
no, no, no,
Wrap it
no,
up,
no,
Tyler.
no, no.
Tyler, wrap it up.
We gotta go. All right. For Matt Hoffman, Ryan Alliss, the legend Mair, I'm Tyler Roney. Ames, stay classy.